Good. Right, just let the chat come in as need be. I'm now going to switch over to the Roll20 screen. Make sure that's up and running. It is. Yep, that's running there nicely. Move this over there. Just let that run. Okay, so I'm going to give it a minute or so, and then yeah. Oh, something else as well. I think I've told Andreas is I've now got a Discord. Oh, hello. Good to do somebody working. How's the volume? This is why I wanted somebody in chat before I started doing the stream properly. Remember last time when nobody could hear me? Can you hear me? Good. Once that's done, I can get going. Excellent. Good. My volume's coming through nice and clear. Right. Let me just load that up. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. That's the cream soda kicking in. Right. Okay. So everyone's ready? Then let's begin. First of all, I'm going to give a recap of what happened last. You were dreading this of what happened last time. Don't worry, it's not going to be too mad. But last time, the crew of Damocles, part of Deep Space Nine, had an encounter with what can best be described as an orb fragment, brought on board by a rather suspicious Kaitan, who ahed and misdirected his way into the brig after being interrogated by, so I can move this out of the way so I can get the name right, Tira, and Third, I think it was. Yes, it was Third.
Third, yes.
Yes. The, what do you call it? The orb fragment caused some rather interesting technological and effects on board, not only the Damocles, but on Deep Space Nine. It ended up with, in a rather genius moment, Tolek freezing the crystal, to which it was then beamed into the buffer of Transporter Room 2. However, due to, shall we say, bad luck, when the fragment was beamed into the wormhole to send it back to the Prophets, it also took along a big chunk of the ship, namely Transporter Room 2.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Transporter Room 2.
He says.
And as
It
such,
was a sacrifice to the prophets.
Yeah, so praise the sun. As such, because of the, shall we say, the unique nature of the Damocles and the extensive damage that was internally done, the Damocles had to head back to Earth, correct, to Utopia Mars to be exact, Utopia Planitia, for repairs. At that point, Tolek took the advantage of a conference that was being held in Atlanta, and having some time off owed, took an early vacation. That's basically to explain why Tolek's not on board. We now return about 2 weeks later, having had Transporter Room 2 fixed, says in quotes. Close that. Right, okay, I'm gonna keep that there. I'll keep that there. Wrong this channel. Transporter Room 2 is still temperamental. It took the original designers and builders of the Damocles weeks to perfect the system. It's a combination of the experimental nature of the Damocles combined with the Vector, and making sure, you know, the safety protocols were in place so that when somebody was in the transporter buffer, they didn't get beamed to the wrong vector or blah blah blah. But it is now May the 1st, 2381, 2 weeks after the transporter room incident. The start date is 58335.38. The Damocles is in deep space, heading back from Earth to Deep Space Nine. We cut to the bridge. On the bridge is Commander Tsang and Captain Prue. On the main viewer is Katal, and we join them at the end of the conversation that they are having. So you mean this is Katal speaking? So you mean to say the entire transporter room was floating outside of the ship? Commander Prue just sighs and nods. It's like, yes, it was an interesting incident, but it's not one I really want to repeat. Starfleet are going to want to know why their most highly advanced starship had such trouble, 6 weeks after launch, that one of its transporter rooms had to be refitted, but we'll deal with that later. How goes your mission back in the Dominion? Oh, Katal replies, oh, it's going quite well. We've made some progress on breaking into the Bendrazi data cluster, but we're not quite there yet. We think we've got about another week, maybe 2, before we've broken through the encryptions that are on this thing. This is the thing that's puzzling us. It's, for such a crude-looking device, it has an incredible amount of decryption and security on it. It's fascinating. It truly is. Anyway, I must return. I shall see you when you return to Deep Space Nine, Captain. He nods. Communication ends. Okay, you two. What are you doing?
I will be at the science station, I guess.
Yep.
Sort of acting as though I'm not really listening in while completely 100% listening in.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm suppressing a grin and just go to the tactical station without saying a word.
Okay. So things are just going along. The captain nods to Commander Singh and says, right, I believe it's the end of my shift. I'm going to get some food and some sleep. The bridge is yours, Commander. And he gets up and walks to the turbo lift. Commander gets up, has a look around, makes eye contact with everyone on the bridge as she normally does, sits down. So, makes a note in the log of the shift change. Again, just plain sailing. You still get the occasional message from Chief Engineer 1, who is really still not happy with what you did to and I quote, his favourite transporter room.
That's why
What's so special about it?
That's why I'm staying away from the engineering room deck.
It was the one he just seems to like. Every engineer has their own particular favourite sort of part of the ship, and this particular one, he really likes transporter room 2 because it took him so long to get it right.
Well, we brought it all back. It's not like it's gone.
Yeah, but you had to go all the way back to Mars to get it repaired and refitted.
No.
That's not a short journey. It's like a good few days from Bajor to Mars. So it's lucky enough to.
Well, at the end of the day, I say it's the Prophet's fault, right? They created the damn thing that caused this.
Yeah.
Are you going to argue? Are you going to go and argue with them?
Well, no, maybe not.
I'm picturing this as.
I certainly, if I ever meet them, we'll be having a conversation.
I'm picturing this as a discussion going on the bridge between the ensign at the navigation, yourself on the thing, and Commander Desang's just sort of looking around at this discussion going on. Like
when someone succeeds in getting a Vulcan admiral to a rage quit, then a discussion with the prophets is also doable.
Absolutely, it is well within my powers.
And Desang just sort of, without breaking her eye contact from the pan she's in, goes, "Yes, Lieutenant June, and when that day happens, I request that I be there to observe it."
I would be more than glad of a company, Commander.
Although Vulcans don't smile, her eyebrow raises very, very slightly, and the nearest that the commander expresses not emotion, but should we say approval of what she just heard. So, it's about an hour later, still on the bridge. Nothing really much is happening until you get a distress signal. It's an automated distress signal. No audio, it's just a beep, beep type distress signal, and alerting you that we're in trouble, we're in serious trouble, we can't even speak. Please find us, come and help. Type signal. And just regularly going beep, beep.
Right. Guess it's time to do some scans then.
It is.
Yeah.
Let me get one. Just basically a way to get you some momentum. 'Cause you're going to need
That
it.
would be scans would be science station, right?
It would,
Yeah.
yes, and as before, unless I say otherwise, it will be a DC of 1.
Is it reason?
I'm looking at my notes here. But it'll be scanning. Yeah, I'm going to say reason. Yeah, because it's basically a sensor suite.
I don't think my focus is applied here, so...
But you can also use sensors and science to assist from the Damocles. Because it's basically the ship's boosting it.
Then I roll for that.
Yeah, basically if one person rolls, the other person can roll for the ship. It's the fairest way of doing it.
Sensors and science, right?
Correct.
2 successes.
Nice. Well, you've got that. See.
Yay! Good start.
Okay. Again, stereotypical instant Ricky. It's like, Commander, shall I lay in a course to the distress signal? Make it so. Ensign, the course is laid in. 2 hours later, you arrive at the scene. You drop out of warp. Your communications? You're still hearing the distress signal, the regular beep of an automated alarm. However, you can't see anything.
There's no
We
don't have anything on the sensors. We should be able to pinpoint the origin point of the distress signal.
You're pretty much on top of it.
And there's no visual of wreckage or anything, or scans suggesting that.
Just
Why don't you make a scan to have a look, see if there's any wreckage?
All right, I'll do that then. Same again.
Okay, yep, same
yeah.
again.
And again, 2 successes.
Right, get yourself another momentum. Right. No, there is no wreckage, but you're still picking up the beep, beep of the automated distress signal.
Well, that's peculiar,
Yep.
says Davrin. And me.
Right.
maybe the distress signal comes from a cloaked ship that isn't able to decloak.
Okay.
Okay. It's an interesting theory.
Make another reason and science test. Another one.
Yes.
Again with the ship.
Again with the ship, yep.
Well, I'm on fire. That's another 2 successes.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. Yes, I'm going to move that over there because I just shouldn't be blocking that part of the screen for me. That's better. That's more like it. Yeah. Commander Desang looks up, is like, that is an astute observation. Helm. How long will it take to cause the deflector array to emit a polaron pulse? It's a standard protocol on the ship, mum. So it'll be fine. So, yes, very well. Okay, who wants to roll for the Damocles this time?
You can do it again, Andres.
Yep,
Okay.
you're doing well. So I'm just doing these extra rolls to give you some momentum. I learned that from Shield of Tomorrow. It's always a good idea to give the players a I don't want to say fluff rolls, but easy rolls to start off with to get the momentum starting up.
What do I have to roll?
Again, I'm just going to say another reason and science roll because it's kind of related to it. It's more to see if you direct.
Right, so it
the
is
polaron pulse.
me as well as the ship again. Then,
Yeah,
is
because it's not.
Okay.
It's not so much to make the pulse. It's to make sure you're aiming at the right area.
Oh well, we got some momentum then, guys.
Yeah, you can use momentum.
Well, we don't need to.
But we have also a
Brilliant.
complication.
Okay, right. This is going to make things interesting. You see on the view screen flicker before you a Dideridex.
Oh.
And it flickers. It is literally flicker. You can tell it's flickering on, and it's like the cloaking device is malfunctioning. Something's happening to it, and it appears to be. Now you've hit it with that polaron pulse, flickering on, flickering off, flickering on, flickering off. It's like you've made it even more unstable with the polaron pulse.
Should we prepare another torpedo for the beaming?
Commander Desang just looks around at you and it's like, despite what you did on your Kobiak Maru, the Romulans are our allies, Lieutenant.
I just wanted to lighten the mood.
Yes, I think.
Aaron sort of chuckles into his fist.
Yeah, cut the other like lieutenants and ensigns on the thing, just like go. Oh, look at that interesting reading over there. Yeah. So, you have the Deridex in front of you, decloaking and cloaking.
Okay.
What do you do?
Well,
Hailing frequencies open, Commander?
yeah.
Ensign taps away on the desk. There's no response, Commander. I could be wrong, sir, but isn't there normally a lot of life forms on a ship of that size? That is correct, Ensign. What is your concern? There only appears to be no. There was 5. There's now 4 life forms on that ship.
Can we attempt to get a transporter lock on them while it's phasing in?
That is not advised. A transporter lock on anything with our current
What about transporter room 1?
transporter room run is fine, but it is not advisable to try to beam onto a ship that is cloaking, especially
Well, I was
decloaking.
I was suggesting trying to beam them off, so we wouldn't be at any risk. But fair enough.
Again, I would remind you that the Romulans are our allies at this point in time.
This is the time that Tira is almost starting to laugh.
On the other hand, Komatsu, they do appear to be dying as we watch. So, do we have time to send an away party?
We could send a boarding party. I mean, they are directly beneath us.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much, and I'll show you actually how close you guys are with the with my thing, the ships. So, for example, like the Damocles is basically there. The Deredex, basic. Oops, I'll make it a bit bigger because it's as it should be.
Scale seems off.
It's basically there. So you're not, right on top of each other, but yeah, you're within transport range.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
boarding party or risky beaming?
Tira, perhaps tractor beam to stabilize the ship first.
I can certainly try.
Okay, you can try it. So that was going to be a tractor beam. So that's going to be a control and security roll for whoever's making that roll, aided by structure and security.
Okay, well, I'll do the structure then.
Okay. Oh, I will say though, before you roll, unless you already rolled it, the DC is going to be 4.
Ooh, what's a high DC?
Can I repeat the roll because I didn't know that and I already rolled?
Yeah, I'll give you that one as a 4 because that was my fault.
Should we be spending some momentum on this then?
I want to spend 3 momentum if that's okay.
By all means.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's like that and I change the DC, then yes, I will allow you to make a reroll. It's only fair.
Does the ship have a focus for this?
By
right.
default, yes.
Oh, it does. Marvelous.
I'm going to say yes because it's a highly advanced starship. If it was doing something outside of normal operations, then no. Okay.
That's fine. We've got 1 back.
Right.
On momentum.
Okay. Although you can't actually get a lock onto the ship itself, by grabbing it with the tractor beam, you seem to have, I don't want to say stabilized it, but you appear to have knocked whatever was causing the ship to cloak and decloak offline.
Oh, marvelous. That'll do.
Yeah. Or at least made it so it's the cloak decloak window is now much larger.
Can we get now the comm signals through?
You can try. That's going to be well, hailing frequencies is control and engineering, so assisted by communications and engineering.
I would like to assist because I'm not good at engineering.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not bad at engineering, so I'll attempt to make this contact.
So sensors and engineering.
Sorry, did you say a difficulty, Chris? Sorry.
No, just a 1.
Okay, cool.
And
I won't add any momentum then.
Yeah.
the assist is sensors and engineering, right?
I'm just looking at my list. Communications and engineering.
Comms. Okay,
Comms.
that's right. Found it.
Ooh, dear.
Dear.
Got a complication.
Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, I'm just going to take a threat for that.
But we did it.
You did it. Now, you can tell that there's a link's been established, but no one's responding.
Right. Okay.
Commander, your choice.
Commander, I volunteer to lead the awaiting.
Before you do anything, Lieutenant, and I will take you up on that, I would suggest that we scan that ship. If there is something on board that has killed all the passengers and crew, I don't want to be sending any of my crew to die alongside them. I imagine the captain would be most vexed.
Yes, I think that does seem like the sort of thing that might leave him a little distraught. Yes.
Although
That reminds me, shouldn't we inform the captain about the situation?
if it warrants it, the captain has full trust in my commands.
Okay.
He has been stressed the last couple of weeks, as you can imagine. But I will make sure he is properly briefed if the situation warrants it.
Okay. Another scanning roll.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
Okay.
Is there a difficulty here?
No, again, just the one, because you're just using the base. There's nothing fancy.
Yeah.
You're just doing a basic sensor sweep of the ship.
2 successes.
Okay. You actually managed to pick up some more life forms.
What, more than we originally detected?
Yes,
you mean?
deep in the bowels of the ship. In total, there's 72.
Oh, well, that's significantly different.
That's significantly, yeah. It's,
Yeah.
Upon hearing this, the commander just looks up at Ensign Ricky. It's like, "Are you sure you only saw 4 or 5 before, Ensign?" It's like, "Yes, sir. It was only a preliminary scan. I didn't scan deep into the ship. We couldn't. That it was cloaking and decloaking. A valid point."
There could also be other reasons for undetectable life forms.
Well, here's a question: Can we scan to determine what the life forms are?
You can, but that will cost you momentum because you're going
Yeah.
more specifically into the scan.
Well, I think it's probably worthwhile. What do you think, Andreas?
Yeah,
Yeah, basically,
for it.
when you do like a scan or you do anything that can warrant answers, you get one question in effect answered for free. Then you can spend momentum to get more questions
So
answered.
yeah, I want to know if these are all Romulan life signs
They
or
are.
not.
They are all Romulan, as far as you can tell. You know.
Yeah, sure.
What you're also detecting is that there is, I suppose you could call it, radiation throughout the ship, in clusters throughout the ship.
Leather levels.
You can detect 2 areas that basically do not have major amounts of radiation.
And would the hold be one of those areas?
The bridge and the engineering. I mean, the radiation level isn't dangerous, offset, to begin with. But if you spend more than, say, I don't know, 5 hours there, you're gonna get ill.
Right.
So, environmental suits or not?
You can probably, I can put it. Well, it's entirely up to you. There's different things you can do. Do you want to make a roll for this?
Yeah, sure. That'll be a science roll, right?
It would do,
So-
yeah, to sort of see if any
Yeah.
possible ideas you can come up with. And I'll give you
So-
a few that you can.
I'm doing a lot of reason sciences today.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I said I'm going to be a bit generous with the DC rolls, because you're missing a proper scientist.
That's another 2 successes.
Okay. Well, there's two ways you can do things. I'm going to give you both of these ones for free. You can have hazmat suits, environmental suits, or you can be inoculated against the radiation. Now, the good thing about the hazmat suits is they have other protections and they are pretty good, but they can make certain tasks harder because they're a bit more clumsy. Whereas the radiation inoculation, you basically still got all your abilities, but you know you're still being exposed to radiation.
I vote for the inoculation. I like to be able to move around quickly.
I concur. We don't know what we're going to be facing over there. We might have to perform delicate tasks.
Okay, it's easy enough to do. You can just head down to the Medi Bay, get yourself standard broad spectrum inoculation, and that takes at tops 10 minutes, if that. Most of the time it's literally just spent getting to the bay and to the transporter room run, or
Yeah, we'll use transporter room 1.
Okay, yeah.
We know better than to use transporter room
Yeah,
2.
transporter room 2 is going to be the iffy transporter room going forward. If things go wrong, it's going to be transporter room 2. But it's easy enough to get the inoculation. Yourself. This is Davrin, Tira, and surprisingly, Toral.
Hello, Tara.
So, yeah, I can't wait to have a look inside a Romulan ship. It's been a while since I've seen one of those beauties up close. Oh, killed having dibs at that bloody cloaking device of theirs as well.
Tempting. No, we are not on a salvage mission. No.
Let's just say that the commander before I came down, I don't know why he's going Welsh and the accent's changed now. So
I don't remember it being Welsh.
No, it's the Bajoran version of Welsh. Welshie. I forgot saying yes. The commander said that although it's not officially a salvage mission, again, he's now going Scottish. That I am to, how does she put it? Keep an eye out for any opportunity that presents itself.
So
she did that.
Our logical Vulcan commander San recommended that you steal things from our Romulan allies.
Oh no! She didn't say that. No. She said that if any, and I postulated that if one of their, say, data pads might accidentally fall into, say, a engineer's carry pack, we might be able to study it for a few days before returning it to our allies, because I picked it up by mistake because I was a bit drunk. Hick. If you
well, all right.
If you, it's like to which point he gets out his hip flask and takes a big old swig of it. There, I now have alcohol in my system, so the commander's not lying. Goes back to being Welsh again. His accent's going to move all over the place. I do apologise.
What rank is Terrell?
He is basically he's basically one step below chief engineer.
I'd like to not see you drink again on this mission, please. And in fact, no. Let me rephrase. I'd like you not to drink anymore on this mission, regardless of whether I can see it or not.
Very well. And he's like, I won't drink anymore, apart from this one. He puts it in his. Like, oh, what's that over there?
He's
As he goes to put it to his mouth, he sees
yeah,
the look and he's like, I'm just joking with you. And screws the lid back on and puts it back in his pocket.
We are actually not on the mission yet.
He does the, hey, she gets it. Okay. So, where are you going to beam to?
So it's the bridge and the engineering are the fairly safe places.
Yeah, I mean the entire ship does have this radiation on it, but towards the bridge and towards engineering is where the radiation is lower.
And to be fair, those two places are probably the most useful places to find out what the hell's going on with the ship. So it's either or, really. What do you think?
If the Romulans have the engineers a bit of common sense, then from engineering we should be able to access the entire ship controls too. So we could beam to engineering.
That sounds like a good idea to me. Let's go with that then.
Right, so you're beaming down to engineering. Right, step onto the transporter pad, give the nod, and
Phaser ready in hand.
And your vision is obscured.
Yes, good idea. Phasers out.
Is obscured by the blue light curtain that represents Starfleet transporter technology. For you, is less than a second later, you find yourself in a darkened corridor. Towards the end of the corridor, you can see what you believe to be engineering of this ship, the Derridex. However, all on the floor, you see several dead Romulans. There is smoke obscuring your vision. You can see rough places. Now you can see like there's a door, you can see there's, you know, bodies on the floor, you can see engineering in the distance, but it basically just makes scene detail a little bit harder. That's all. From the engineering, you hear a distinctive sound of Romulan disruptor fire.
And
Both of you behind me.
do these dead Romulans are they obviously deceased from such weaponry fire or in the obvious injury?
They've make an investigation check. So that's going to be, this is a new one. Where's me list? Okay, this is going to be for
The investigation will be security.
yeah. For this one, I'm going to say yes, security and insight.
Can I take a look too?
Yeah, you can both roll because you're both looking.
Okay. Right, I'm already standing in front of Devrin and Toral. No, none of my focus help me.
Another complication, but I did get a success.
Me too.
Okay. As you are investigating the bodies, a disruptor beam comes flying out of the room, narrowly missing. I'm going to roll for this to see who it narrowly misses.
It was my complication, if that affects anything. Maybe
Not
it
always.
should be.
Complication just means a complication happens.
Well, fair enough. Well, then I'm sorry if you get disrupted, Andrea.
Yeah.
I already have an idea for a backup character.
It's not a well, no. Okay, let's do this fair. 1, 2 will be Toral. 3, 4 will be Davrin. 5, 6 will be Tira.
Come on, Toral. Come on, Toral.
So I'm going to do this in chat to keep it legit. Just to make it fair. Roll 1d6, I think it is. 1.
Yay, Toral.
Toral gets singed slightly by the disruptor beam, scraping across the top of his shoulder. And it's like, oh my god! Ooh. And you're pretty sure he says some swear words in Bajoran. It's like, oh, that's going to sting in the morning.
Davrin presses himself up against the wall to make a slimmer profile, and he calls out, "Hold fire, we're here to help."
I go to a more advantage position and I'm ready to fire at everything that comes towards us if they seems to want to attack us.
I wish I had a little map to show the engineering room.
We have our minds.
No, it's more to sort of because this is sort of important. That's why. Okay, I'm going to use a threat. No. I can do this. It is kind of important to the position where you are. Okay, no, screw it. Okay, I'm gonna wing this. Right.
You can free draw on roll 20
That is very true. That is
and draw shapes and things.
Very
so.
true. Okay, so basically, there's a corridor. Yep. How I'm gonna move? Again, this is very, very bad. This is basically the engineering room. You guys are, yeah. The Romulan.
That is a well-designed, sexy starship.
Yeah. The Singularity Core is there, and so I'm just going to do it. And the phaser sorry, the disruptor fire came from this direction.
So what, from adjacent to Singularity Core, right?
But you also see it going like that and like that.
So I'm probably here now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes, and Devon and Troll are probably here on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we get a response to my attempt to hail them?
Yeah, the door closes.
Well, they don't seem pleased to see us.
Because it's the door to the Singularity room. It's a big old bulkhead.
So we can try to open it.
Yeah, of course you can. It's easy enough to do.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, to tell like this place is more like a. It's not really a corridor. That's probably I couldn't think of any other word to describe it. It's more like a chamber before it. Does that make sense?
So yeah, I go to the door and try to open it.
Okay.
Devon, Toril, give me, protect me.
Okay. Right. This is going to be daring and engineering with a DC of 3.
May I take 2 momentum?
You certainly can.
I am asking Devon.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, yes, you may take 2 momentum, and
One moment, I'm just going to close that window. That's better.
as Tira suggests, Davrin's gonna have his phaser out, sort of ready to shoot at anybody he sees in the room beyond. Well, I think he can assume they probably will shoot first if they get the chance, so he's got it on stun and just ready to fire.
Yeah. As you're doing this, you can hear the disruptor fire still going off.
Does my focus and infiltration count?
Not on this one, no, because it's more of a you're trying to break into the security controls that stops the door from going back up again.
Oh, that's great.
Nice. Okay.
What did I roll?
Right. Okay. Right. As you do that, I'm going to use 2 threats.
I hate you.
You have a message come through. This is like literally just before you open up the door. So you've done this, but this is a fraction of a second before it actually happens. You get a message come through from the Damocles. Damocles 1218, report.
And so I guess that's slightly distracting for me. So I press the comm badge, and I'm about to start reporting when this goes off, I suppose.
Oh, no, this is related to the threats, but
okay. As away party to Damocles, we have encountered resistance of some kind, disruptor fire from the engineering room. Toral has been scraped. That's not the right word for disruptor fire, but
no, I've been bloody shot. That's what's happened.
It's a flesh wound.
Hey, fucking flesh wound, you laddie. Okay, I've decided now he's Scottish because that's the easiest accent I can do. Well, you may wish to hurry up. Our long-range sensors have detected another ship, Romulan, heading your way. It will be here in approximately 4 hours.
Okay.
I've alerted the captain. He wants us out of here in around 3 to 3.5 hours maximum.
Okay. Have the scans indicated anything else about the ship since we arrived?
Yes. We do advise you to be very careful on this ship, away team.
And at that moment, Tira opens the door and stands in the middle of the doorway.
Yep. Okay, I want all of you to make. I've got to remember how to make this roll now. I'm going to say. I'll just look for me notes. Let's make sure it's it. It's going to be. I'm going to say reason and. Let's see where. Security. Reason and security. DC of 2.
Oh no.
Yes.
That's no, it doesn't. I spent a point of momentum.
Sure, yeah, I'm going to spend momentum too, I think.
Oh, very nice. Yes. As you're looking around whilst talking on your way team, you notice there's subtle differences between this and a standard Romulan ship from your training. This is a Tal Shiar vessel.
Okay.
This isn't a Romulan Republic vessel or Star Empire vessel. No, this is a Tal Shiar vessel.
Okay, no wonder they're not keen on us being here.
Yep. And
So, one question. We have in your timeline we have the Romulan Republic too.
yes, because I'm semi-basing my timeline off of Star Trek Online's timeline,
Okay.
which has the Romulan Republic in it as well. It's also a way of having good Romulans and bad Romulans, for one of
Okay.
a better term. So
Thank you.
that's right. So yeah, you notice the Romulans in the singularity room. They're all dead. They've shot each other. Their wounds are still, I don't want to say steaming, but you can see where they've been shot.
Are
Easily.
they wearing Tal Shiar uniforms?
Oh yes.
All of them.
And the
In fact,
ones
all
that
the Romulans that you can see are wearing Tal Shiar uniforms.
you know that we know to look for the subtle differences.
Yes, it's only the little things, but it's just the because it was obscured by the smoke. At first glance, yeah, you think this is a Romulan vessel, but now you've had a chance to actually study and have a closer look at the different signs. When you was hacking into the panel to open it up, you noticed again Tal Shiar symbols as opposed to Romulan Empire or the Republic symbols and things like that, and it's all just clicked in your minds. This isn't a standard Romulan vessel.
Devon, I have a bad feeling about this.
I have an incredibly bad feeling about this.
I'm taking a threat for that.
In fact, I'm not even confident why are we even here? But okay, well, we don't know. Hang on, there was something like 70 odd people in the hold.
Yeah.
Which is normally a fairly odd place for people to be.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility, isn't there, that the people in the hold are not in fact Tal Shiar. So I suppose we need to investigate.
Also,
that.
I have a creeping theory in my head. Devon, could you scan for any poisoning stuff in their air that could make people aggressive? What if they were killing themselves against
think-
each other, fighting?
It certainly looks like they were. So
Yeah,
yes,
because that's
I'll get on the computer systems. Meanwhile, can you take a look and see if there's anything physically wrong with the engineering core?
Alright.
Now,
Help,
bear in mind,
please.
is a singularity core, which
Singularity.
even despite the, shall we say, cordial relationship between the Federation and the Romulans, they are still a secretive race, and they're not too keen on having their technology investigated without their permission.
Well, actually, I mean, if anyone were going to do that, it ought to be me anyway, because I've got warp theory as focus.
Yeah,
so-
and I keep an eye out for any hidden dangers and threats.
Right. Well, I'll scan for things in the atmosphere first. that does seem like a priority.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes, go ahead.
so, is this still science? It's not. Hopefully not medicine.
It is, unfortunately.
Medicine.
Yep.
I'm shit at medicine.
Hang on, let me just check something.
Andreas.
Actually, no.
What's
Actually, no. Tell a lie. I'm gonna retro change that. It is going to be science because medicine science is more to do with the theory and thinking, whereas medicine is more to do with the biology and making people better and shit like that.
difficulty 1?
2.
2. Let's spend a momentum on that.
Yeah,
then.
definitely. Do I need to roll something for spotting any threats or
Oh
dangers
dear.
too? Oh dear.
You can't pick up anything.
Right. Well, not in that case. Not that I can determine, Tira. I'm going to have a look at this singularity core.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Because I mean, hell, how often you get a chance like this?
Yeah, I mean the thing is massive. It's the size of a warp core, but circular, like a globe, and it's got the. Have you ever seen the film Event Horizon?
I have not.
Nope.
Pretty, because in that it has probably the best way to mentally describe what a singularity core looks like. Imagine a big globe with bands spinning around it.
I've just looked it up on the wiki, so I've got a little picture.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm with you.
The thing is huge. It doesn't use the standard matter-antimatter reaction like a Federation core does. It basically, there's a black hole trapped behind something, and you're standing 10 feet away from a black hole.
So perhaps while I'm doing this, you could attempt to do some security functions. Perhaps you can get see if there's cameras in the hold. Perhaps
I'm on the lookout, and I think Turl can help you with the singularity core. What? That's actually a good idea. I access security panels to get a lookout of the ship.
Okay, yes, you can do that. But to say, bear in mind, this is a Tal Shiar vessel, and it is a Romulan vessel, so it's going to be harder than you would be normally. It's going to be quite hard. It's going to be a DC of 4. 1 for being a Romulan vessel, 1 for being a Tal Shiar vessel, and it would normally be a DC of 2. Because obviously, inbuilt security systems is going to stop.
I spent 2 momentum.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
Yeah. This is the one that we want to succeed on. The looking at the
That's,
core would be nice, but
control and security roll.
It'll be sensible. Oh no, it won't be sensible. It'll be control and security. No.
Why not? I'm good at that.
I know. Actually, where's my list? That'll be clever. I've actually got a list of what it actually would be, so it makes it easier. Now it's going to be. Okay, what exactly are you doing once you hacked into the system? Because that will determine what you need to roll.
I'm checking the ship's wide security status. Like, are there any emergency procedures intact? Where are they?
Okay, alright, so that would be
and such.
So basically, you'd be hacking, patching into the internal sensors.
Yeah.
Which would be reason and security.
Focus on security protocols?
I'm going to say yes on this one, because you would still have some knowledge of Romulan vessels, but it's not going to be much. But you would have had a basic briefing on Romulan security protocols.
Okay. Ha!
Oh, boom, Shankar.
nicely done.
Yeah, oh yeah. You break through that thing. It's like, even with the Tal Shiar protocols in place, it's almost as if the system lets you in. That's how easy it was for you. Now,
I was trained by Andorian Special Forces. Of course I can hack Tal Shiar.
That's the thing. you've used that. It's all come flooding back to you. Oops, excuse me. It's all come flooding back to you, and you knew a little trick. You tried it, and it worked. What you have found.
Devrin hears Tira slightly whisper, "Thanks, dads."
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Okay. You basically managed to patch into the internal security system of the vessel. What you now can look pretty much anywhere in the ship that you want.
I look at the bridge. Yeah, I want to check up on the bridge first.
Okay. I will say you've now got 3.25 hours left.
Also, it's a possibility while I take a look around to to copy the ship's logs on a tricorder or something like that.
Okay. Let's do one thing at a time first, because
I mean, I'm just asking what options.
You can pretty much do whatever you want, but because of obviously, it's you have to do separate roles. So we're going to do if there's anything more advanced than just basically looking,
okay,
then you have to make a roll for it. So
okay,
go from there.
I'm looking at the bridge.
Okay. Although the bridge is has what can best be described as a purple haze going through it, you think you can see someone sitting in the bridge captain's chair, along with 3 other officers.
Just sitting.
Just for the moment, it's just.
Are they moving at all?
Yeah, do they seem alive?
One of them stops, looks up to where the security camera would be, presses a button. Your bridge feed goes off.
Wow. Okay.
But they weren't fighting.
Sorry?
They weren't fighting, that's important. They seem to have everything under control on the bridge.
They might do.
To a given degree of control, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
While he's been doing that, I want to be taking a look at the singularity core.
Okay, this will be going on at the same time, so I'm not going to advance the time frame. That. Okay, so what do you want to do with the singularity?
I just kind of want to investigate it a bit. Warp theory is one of my things. It's an opportunity to learn a bit more about the technology, which might become useful later.
Do you want to say?
I'm not trying to completely reverse engineer it or anything in the time we have, but just to maybe get some readings.
Okay, by all means. You're just doing a basic tricorder scan, just to sort of, in effect, do the Starfleet equivalent of taking a picture.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, if I can get access to a sort of any data via the terminal as well, I might try and attempt that.
Okay, so what do you want to do first? Take a metaphorical picture, or do you want to?
I will take the metaphorical picture because that seems like an easy thing to do with very little rolling.
Okay, I'm going to say you can do that, and you can make a roll.
Yeah.
A DC of 0, and your focus.
Reason.
There is a reason.
Science.
Yeah, reason science, and there is a reason I'm doing this. But I'm not going to tell you what.
Well, not great considering what all I had on it, but 1 success.
Okay. Oh, blimey! Yeah. Out of all that, 1 success. Okay. Yeah, you get a fairly decent scan, but looking over it, you realise it's nothing that Starfleet doesn't already know. But for your own personal collection, yeah, you've got a nice picture of a Tal Shiar singularity.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
I'll frame that on my wall.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'll attempt to get access to some data from the computer. So.
Okay. And this one's going to be a little bit harder. Again,
Sure.
It's going to be a DC of 3.
Ooh,
1 for the
good.
Romulan technology, 1 for Tal Shiar.
I don't know whether I should spend momentum for something that's so blatantly self-serving, but
Just do it.
I'm going to do it. All right.
Do it.
Okay.
1 momentum.
You never never know, you might get a few successes.
Yeah, so same roll again?
Yep. Just wait for it to come up.
Oh, come on!
Ooh.
Well, at least I don't get a complication. Could
No.
be worse.
Your terminal just shuts down.
Oh, sparks at me.
No,
in
it
my
doesn't spark
face,
at you. It just has
no.
the unmistakable Talshar logo pops up on the screen. Pops up on the screen as if to, it's like the it's almost
It's a
as
sort
if
of wagging finger.
yeah, it's like
No,
you didn't say the magic word. And the terminal just completely shuts down. Doesn't spark, doesn't electrocute you. It just is like, nah, you're not getting in, mate.
I start accessing the security logs and skip through them
Okay,
to see if anything interesting pops up to this situation.
right. Okay, right. Okay, this is going to be a DC of 2 this time, because it's basically you're just accessing the logs, and it's not really a mega secure log. Plus, also, you're pretty much on a security terminal anyway, and the system thinks you're.
Yeah. So another recent security roll.
Yeah.
I spend one
And
momentum.
I'm going to allow you to use your focus on this one as well.
I spend one momentum and hope to generate more momentum.
Right.
Yeah, yes.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
I'm doing my damage. Well done.
Okay. As you're going through the security log, you notice it's a standard stuff. Go pick up this planet, scan this Federation message, blah 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 blah. But one of the logs stands out from one of their science officers. On a planet that they were investigating, they found an interesting plant. This plant, it was soon discovered, gave off a fragrance which acts as a neural inhibitor for certain parts of the brain. This immediately piques the interest of the Talshar, who sent along this very vessel to harvest and study as much of this plant as they could.
And apparently they all stopped to smell the flowers.
Apparently they didn't. All the standard security protocols were in place. Now the Talshar are many things, but they're not stupid. However, what they cannot foresee is when something goes wrong. Namely a power spike in their singularity engine. This overloaded the containment field they had around the plant and several other systems throughout the ship, one of them being the cloaking device. Very soon, and you can see as the log's going on, it's getting more and more I don't want to say deranged, but it's as if the person who's writing it is caring less and less. It starts off very formal, very almost aristocratic in the way they speak, but towards the end of this log, they basically involve and go, "Bugger this, I'm off out." And you can see, you can almost see as you're reading the log as it's affecting it. Each one gets more and more. They don't care.
Devran, you want to take a look at this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What have you got for me?
I show him the log entry.
Right. Oh dear.
You might be in deep trouble on this ship.
Yeah, no kidding.
If those flowers or scent got into the air ducts, then we already have pressed it in.
Unfortunately, we don't have a medical tricorder with us, so...
Okay, Davin, can you make a? I'm trying to think. What's the perception roll in this? It's
I believe it's security and is it insight or is it
yeah.
reason?
Let's go with security and insight. Yeah, make a security and insight roll, please. DC of 1.
Okay. Ah, finally, I'm back on track.
You notice Torel take out his flask and neck back, drink, puts it back in his pocket.
I choose not to pass comment. I mean, the man did get shot.
But you see him deliberately looking at you as he does that. It's like he makes eye contact as he.
Oh, I see.
As if,
Oh, well,
as
that's
if-
all right. You know,
As if to say, what are you going to do about it?
in that case, I march over and I take the flask from him.
You can try.
Tira to Damocles.
Come in, away team.
Could you beam Torald, the Chief Torald, directly to the med bay? He's suffering from a neural inhibitor poisoning, or how that stuff is called.
I haven't
Quarantine.
I haven't drunk enough to be neurally inhibit. All right, yeah, beam me over.
Quarantine protocols are recommended, Damocles.
Understood.
Prepare and keep a log on our competitors too. We might be infected too.
Yeah, when we go wackadoodle, just bring us straight out, please.
You see,
Oh God.
as Torel beams out, you just see him like pretty much like raise his hand as if he's going to make a gesture, but the gesture is never completed because he beams away in the solid.
Oh,
curtain of
I
blue
really
light.
hope somebody important is waiting for him on the other end. To see that.
It's just pretty much whoever's operating Transporter Room 1 has just met a.
He
has a
just
drunk
he
patrol
appears
officer
in front of Commander Tsang or something with his middle finger up.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
Love it.
Just give me 1 second. I'm going to quick drink. Do we want to have a quick break right now? For
Yeah, I think that would be a great time for a 5-minute break. Actually, thank
Right.
you.
Okay. Because I need to go for a wee wee.
Okay.
See you in a few minutes.
Okie dokie.
Yep.
I'm going to. Right. I'm just going to read the chat for a moment. So, put in a tractor beam transport, stabilising transport. Yeah. Just. Release the singularity. No, it's not a spore drive. No, it's not. It's not a. It's not a spore drive. You're okay with that one? Let's try and think. Anything else I need to say? Hey, Jim Raffi has subscribed as well, by the looks of it, if I'm reading that right. Fantastic. Need an SD account to say wackadoodle. Okay. Right. You don't have fun for a couple of minutes. I shall be right back. I'm going to mute my mic so you don't hear me talking about cheesy bacon again. Okay, I am back. Just wait for the other players to come back. So if you've got any questions that I can answer or you want to ask, go right ahead. Now's the perfect time to do it. I'm going to move it back to the other screen as well. Yeah, I was looking at getting some intermission music, but I can put it. The ones I want to use are unfortunately all copyrighted. So it'd be like, yeah, the whole stream would get muted, like I did with Brutal Legends. I was playing that on Wednesday. Worked perfectly fine. Unfortunately, because it had copyright music, the entire stream got muted. So it's like, ugh. So I've got to find something that's sort of Star Trek-y sounding without being copyrighted, or alternately just find a track and buy it. So that might be something I'll do. Again, I want to get the whole new system, horn and orchestra. I mean, the problem is, even if I want to play what do you call it, I mean, I've seen some that are absolutely fantastic. Even that gets copyrighted. It's ridiculous how strict they are on some of these ones. It really is ridiculous. But still, I am. Oh, that'd be fantastic if you could do that. That'd be nice to have the official orchestra in the background, or the London Philharmonic. That would be quite nice. Have them playing the Generations Overture or something like that, or the Deep Space Nine one. It's a shame they don't have a pack of sounds or music that people can use that are, perfectly legit. As long as you're not making any money off of it, and you say like, oh, this is copyrighted to so and so. Right. But before I forget as well, I meant to do it at the beginning of the stream. I completely forgot. Today's outline is called Fragrance, and was the outline the outline was done for me by RPG Crunch, and they do online stuff, GM assistance, stuff like that, and they did this all for free, and I just offered to give them a free plug in return. So if you get a chance and you see them on Twitter or on the World Wide Web, give them a look, because they didn't have to do this, and they gave them a chance to stretch their metaphorical legs, and it got me a free mission out of it. So
and it's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I know. I'd say I have adapted it from the notes because of I realised I made a little bit of a mistake to begin with, at the beginning of the mission, and that's kind of snowballed. But that's totally on totally on mine. I've what's the phrase? Improvise, adapt, survive, that type thing. So that's all. But the basic gist of it, I'm following this as more of a guideline rather than a you must do it like this type thing. So.
Pirate.
Yeah, I mean, it's no plan survives contact with the enemy. But
and you are your own worst enemy.
Exactly. Right. I mean,
and speaking of enemies, two Federation officers on a Talshia ship.
Yep.
Yeah. Why are we here again?
We are the good guys. You have to.
That's the thing. Technically,
that I've heard.
Technically, the Tal Shiar are the bad guys. I mean, they are the bad guys that the Romulan Empire, Star Empire, fears. So
they're pretty bad.
Yeah, that's why I want to have it as this particular time frame as well, is because it opens up so many more opportunities. You've got the Romulan Empire, you've got the Romulan Republic, basically the good Romulans and the bad Romulans as the Federation sees it.
So, I mean, I don't do STO. Is one of these groups the one that Spock was sort of turning to the light side?
Romulan Republic.
Yeah, he was working for the Romulan Republic.
Okay.
And they are. It's not so much a civil war, but it's basically there are those who believe in the Romulan Star Empire and those who believe in the Romulan Republic. And he's trying to get the Romulans back together and the Vulcans, reunification, that kind of thing.
Right, shall we get on with it then, guys?
Yes, sorry, I was waffling there. Right.
We were well. I enjoyed it, but I'm sure the audience want us to get on with it.
Indeed, yes. So, get that back in the zone. Right. You have just under 3 hours left.
Alright, I think we need to determine, if we can, whether the Romulans in the hold are Tal Shiar or not.
I will give you this one for free. Generally, although you'd be able to see the uniform, you would know for a fact that the Tal Shiar often have sleeper agents, and shall we say, I don't want to say spies, but undercover agents, even among their own crew. So in theory, you could be looking at a complete cargo hold of Tal Shiar, or you could be looking at none. You don't know you would not know just by looking. And
Sure,
and
but if we are going to be the good guys here, and they look like captives, then even if they're in disguise, we're just going to have to do something about it and work it out later, aren't we?
Also, I would like to talk with the Tal Shiar on the bridge, because they seemed normal. They didn't seem to be really infected.
You can try getting through to the bridge. Okay, so
Yeah, I opened a channel to the bridge.
all right, so that is going to me, because it's going to be basically a hailing frequencies, even though it's internal. That's going to be control and engineering, because obviously you're still not 100% familiar with Romulan technology.
Difficulty?
1, because it's just hailing frequencies.
Yay.
Very nice.
Engineering to captain of this beautiful warbird. Yes, engineering. Anyone up there?
Yeah, so I'm just reading. I suppose you can. The best way to describe it is you would appear your face on. That's kind of like the back wall of the bridge. Because I don't know what the Derek, and also because it's Tal Shiar bridge as well, so it's going to be slightly different. But it's on their equivalent of the back wall. You see the Romulans in their Tal Shiar uniform there before. The captain still sitting in his chair. The one you are looking at has, well, the best way to describe it is a sweaty, feverish look.
Oh, so he is infected.
His eyes are. It's almost panting, kind of thing, and you can almost see him like looking at you, going, "Am I seeing things? Why do I look like an Andorian?" Like, it's like he doesn't realise he's looking at another person. He thinks he's looking at his reflection. And you see him like put his hand up to where the antenna would be, and not feeling. It's like,
You're not imagining this, Captain. I'm a lieutenant of Starfleet. We are here to help. Focus on my voice. Remember your training.
alright. So are you going to try and get through to him in his drugged
Yes.
state?
Yes.
Okay. This is going to be interesting.
Yes.
Tira, trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call me over anytime you need help, Tira.
I'm going to say command and reason for this one, because you're trying to use you're trying to command him to focus and reason with him. So yeah, let's go command and reason.
Difficulty?
2. A, because he's a Romulan, and B, because he is drugged off his balls.
I take 1 momentum.
Yep.
Nah.
He almost seems to snarl. It's like, yes, Captain. I request for-
Deborah?
Okay. Yes, Lieutenant.
I think that's your specialty. Drugged super agents of a paranoid government.
I don't know what you're trying to say,
The Rom-
but sure, I'll have a go.
the Romulan officer is basically sort of like again looking at Tira and pretending it's his reflection and moving it. It's
So,
like
I come
always
into
look
view and
good
he's
in
like,
blue.
"What? There's 2 of me."
yeah, it's like this is can't feel my antenna. And you hear a voice from the background go, "Pull yourself together, man. You are not an Andorian."
No, you're a Trill, pushing Tira out the way. No, so yeah, so I'm going to come over and give this a shot.
It's like, Captain, this is getting really weird now. I've now got spots and my skin's no longer blue. To which you see the person who was sitting in the chair slowly stand up and grip the edge of the chair. "I order you to stand down, Commander." But before he can finish that, you see him pull out a disruptor and shoot the Romulan square in the back.
You know what, Tira? I'm not sure diplomacy is going to work.
Completely disintegrating him in front of you. You hear his scream throughout the comm system. You then see the darkened skin of this guy. I'm going to zoom it out so you can see him a bit easier. It's the only good decent picture I could find.
Handsome fella.
Yes, but that's basically who you see standing in front of the captain's chair. "Get off my ship."
We are here to help,
And then
Captain.
communication ends.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Yeah, that one, Barrel.
Alright, do you know what? Right, we're gonna stick to finding out if the people in the hold look like they are captives or not.
Okay.
And if they don't look like the captives, we'll get off his ship, because I honestly don't see why we would be here for any other reason.
Then let's stroll to the hold.
You have just under 2.5 hours left.
Is there no way we can get a visual on this, on the hold?
Oh yeah, you can do that if you want to.
Well, let's attempt to do that from here. Since,
Yeah,
rather.
I mean you've still got that console open, and as far as it knows, you are a Tal Shiar officer.
Fantastic.
Obviously,
So,
there are some areas of the ship you would not be able to access, like the captain's private quarters and, shall we say, the Tal Shiar chambers is probably the best way of describing it, for obvious reasons. But yeah, the cargo hold would be easy. I mean, that would be a DC of 2.
let's Lieutenant, let's see if we can get a visual on the cargo hold.
Right. We know it's ranks. So, what a role would that be?
Again, because you're using internal sensors, so that will be reason and science.
Oh, maybe I should do it then.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, now the console's open, it doesn't matter who uses it.
Right.
Well, it might not matter who uses it. It's probably the best way of describing it, unless you get a complication, obviously.
Well, if it's science, that's definitely me, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Science the shit out of it.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm going to.
If you mean security, then that's
Yes,
definitely Tira.
sorry. My bad. I was looking at the wrong bit. That would be
Okay.
internal sensors, so it would be reason and security. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's my.
I'll take.
I'm probably again with the protocols.
And again, the DC of 2, just to reflect your unfamiliarity with Romulan technology.
Yes.
Nice. You get a crystal clear picture of the cargo hold, and you see pretty much all the people in there. You can't see any Tal Shiar uniforms, but you can see what looks like to your eye a few civilians, a few, I don't want to say guards, but definitely armed people there, but they all look like they're starting to, well, they're almost starting to look like the other person that you saw on the bridge. A few of them are sweating. There's people, you can see this very slowly splitting up into small groups, keeping an eye on each other. Their eyes are it's, if you had to hazard a guess, you would say they're in the early signs of whatever is affecting them.
Lieutenant, can you try and raise communications with them?
Hailing frequency opened.
Yep. Okay.
Acting captain.
Yep. Hailing frequencies. That's going to be control and engineering. But I'm going to give you that a DC of 1. Nice. You see it flare into life. One of the Romulans standing near it sort of jumps. It's like, the Starfleet? Oh. And you can almost see the relief in their faces, like, oh, you've come to rescue us. Oh, you. There. Everyone, Starfleet is here. And you can see everybody in the cargo hold just go, what? And there's a, yes, you can see on the screen a wave of, not joy, but we're going to get out of this now, spreading across the cargo hold. There's a noise, everyone's like going, we need to get us out of here, help, get us out of here.
Everybody, please, could you perhaps select one spokesperson?
And I wave at them in the background.
Okay, you see there's several sort of, you can see a few arguments in the background. People are like, no, as if they're saying, no, I've got higher rank than you. One punches the other one.
Could you perhaps non-violently select a spokesperson?
Right? No, and it goes down. You see them adjust themselves. It's like, and then they pause as if to go, what did I just do? And he walks up to the screen. Normally, at these circumstances, it would be me who would be in command, but considering I just punched out my brother, I think somebody else should be our rep.
Well, you make the selection then, and we'll go from there.
Looks around and just indicates, like, you come here. You talk to. Excuse me. I'm going to see my brother's okay. And he pushes the young Romulan forward. This is basically the equivalent of a, I suppose you could say an Ulan, I think they call it, or an ensign. It's like very, very low rank. You can see that he's got only like one pip on his collar or indicator. It's pretty obvious this is a low ranking Romulan.
Greetings, I'm Lieutenant Jean, and this is my colleague Lieutenant Shatizra. Who am I speaking with?
I am. You can put the hand to their heads. It's like, I am Kalan.
Kalan. Well, Kalan, what circumstances have led you to be locked in the hold of this vessel?
You do know what this vessel is, don't you?
Well, we're starting to get a good idea.
We were. Well, the best way to describe who we are is we thought we were being rescued by another Romulan vessel. We didn't realise until we beamed on board it was actually a Tal Shiar vessel.
I see.
And they started. A few of us. They put us in. Some of us in rooms with this gas. Do you know many Romulans, Lieutenant?
I have known one or two, but not particularly well, I must admit.
Do you know Vulcans?
Yes, much more familiarly, yes.
Would you agree with me that compared to the Vulcans, us Romulans are a passionate people? And you can see he's really struggling to get his words out.
I would say that would be a very fair statement, yes.
This gas made us look like Vulcans in comparison.
We've witnessed a little something of that for ourselves already. Can I, sorry, Chris,
Yes.
can I be viewing the people I can see on the screen around him for sort of subtle signs of, I don't know, Tal Shiar, secret agents?
You can
and so on?
you can expand the view, things like that. Because you're not going to get that much of a view because you've pretty much only got like a laptop screen size thing in front of you. And
I just want to see if anyone
move
that's
the
like
camera.
on the screen is acting what I would consider suspiciously.
Okay.
You know.
I'm going to allow you to do that one. That's going to be I'm going to say a command and insight roll
Okie doke.
with a DC of 1.
Would my focus on empathy or
Yes,
fly?
because you're sort of looking to see if everyone's actually a bit agitated and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I'm going to say yes for that one.
Boom.
Apart from signs of agitation, there is a slight threat, but it's not as bad as the people you saw on the bridge.
Mm.
It's obviously, the air is recycled and refiltered, so whatever's in the air is affecting them, but it seems to be affecting them at a much slower rate than the ones on the bridge. Your educated guess is, they couldn't last all day in here. They need to get out as soon as possible, and the sooner the better. But for the time being, at this precise moment, they are not in any danger. And you can't see any obvious signs of Tal Shiar.
Okay. Well, it certainly seems that you need our aid, and we will do our best to assist. I'm just concerned that the people on the bridge might start taking action if we try and beam you out of the hold under their watch. Do you have any recommendations, Lieutenant
Yes.
Shistra?
Deal with that imbecile on the bridge. Get him out the way. You will have complete command of the ship. You'll be able to flush the air vents, do whatever you wish.
Do you have any knowledge that would assist us in getting onto the bridge?
Not me personally, but one moment.
I have some ideas, but 1 second, please.
Yep.
Devrin, how are you feeling?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
I'm feeling
I would say-
happy.
Yeah. Actually, that's a very good point. Both of you are starting to not so much feel slightly warmer. That's all I will say. Not enough to build up a sweat, but it's as if you walked into a room and the thermostat's just a couple of notches above what you like.
Also, we have the engineering here, and the bridge is dependent on the engineering.
That's assuming it's set up in the same way as a Starfleet vessel.
I'm assuming that Romulan engineering has common sense.
And by that I mean they haven't transferred control to the bridge.
Right. So I'm just wondering whether the fact that I am a symbiotic being might give me a little bit of a buffer here.
Or it could actually affect you more.
Or it could affect me more, yeah.
You know what?
Do I?
I am going to ask
Because
you both to roll 1 challenge dice each.
And I will remember to you that Andorians have a faster metabolism.
So they get drunker quicker. So,
Yeah.
No, and actually in that case, Tira, can you roll 2 dice then,
Of
please?
course.
Okay. This is
2
gonna-
challenge dice.
Yay!
Right. Yeah, you're starting to feel the effects.
I was already presuming as much because
And yeah, okay, Davin, you're feeling it not as much, but you are feeling warm.
Yes.
Tira,
Unseasonably hot.
It's as if you've had a drink, not enough to get you drunk, but in human terms, lightly buzzed.
yeah,
I'm
that's
reading
why
the
the
chat.
wave.
Andorians never feel happy. He's dying.
That's why
That's true, actually. The
waving
fact
and
that
such.
Lieutenant Tiro is feeling so happy, gloriously happy, probably is very suspicious.
Yes, that's the thing. No, the thing is, the Andorians are very passionate people. They, whatever they do wholeheartedly. So if they are serious, they are really serious. If they are joking with you, they are really joking with you. If they are, then you're going to wake up bruised. But if they get drunk, you could be in trouble.
Okay, so let's say perhaps our window on this is a little bit smaller than we've previously thought.
We could try to deactivate the environmental controls on the bridge.
Certainly could try. Overhearing you saying that, the another Romulan gets brought back and says, "Normally I say you could do that from engineering, but I would recommend doing it from just outside the bridge. There's a command junction there that is. Excuse me. Ooh, this is interesting. And you again, you can see they are starting to get a bit sweaty. You would have better luck from the bridge, or at least just outside it. You could do it from engineering, but it'll be harder. It's entirely up to you.
Okay.
We place our lives in your hands, but please."
Well, while you're giving us recommendations here, roughly how long would it take for 3 adult Romulans to be knocked unconscious if we turn off the environment?
A matter of moments, considering our state. It's like one of our excuse me, I'm so sorry about this. One of our, I suppose you can call him engineer, he tried to escape through one of the air vents. He I don't know why he did that, but it was one of the places where there was no environmental controls, and he was out in less than a minute.
Good. Right.
When we are at the bridge, I can kick their asses.
We think that this effect is, whilst it makes us more... can't think, and you should see a punch to...
Please. It's fine to take your time. There's no need to punch the screen. We need that to talk to you.
There's a sly smile comes across her face. It's like, it's exactly my point. And we know that if you can get to outside the bridge, you could probably easily disable them. And then
that's what we'll
flush
do.
the environment.
Right. Well, we're on it then.
Thank you. And excuse me. I think I'm going to pass out. And you see her just sort of almost collapse onto the console and just slide down.
Right. Hold on just a while longer, folks.
It's like you see him in the distance. There's a few other people have getting a bit woozy and have sat down and have got their heads in their hands. You can see there's a couple of people getting a bit sort of boom, not fisticuffs, but you can see that they're getting a bit aggressive with each other, like the Romulan version of chest bumping. Like they're getting like nose to nose and like fingers in faces and stuff like that.
If anyone sane is still listening, I would suggest deactivating those weapons you have in there with you. Right about now.
They don't work anyway.
Oh, good. Well, I'm just trying not to club each other with them then.
As you say that, you see one of them go, "Ooh," and walks off the screen.
Oh dear. I'm going to stop helping now.
Very good, Devin. Very good. Very good.
Actually, again, just for laugh, Davin, can you make a challenge dice roll?
All right.
You hear a thump, but then you see the security guard with the weapon go flying past the camera.
Oh, that makes me feel a little bit better about the whole thing.
It's like, "Don't you try that again, you bit!" And the universal translator bleeps it out.
Wow, I didn't even know the Romulans had swears.
Oh, they've got swears, okay, but this is you can see a few people look around and just look at the guard and just go.
Right. Anyway, do you know what? I think we should hurry. So let's
Okay.
cut this communication and get up to the bridge.
Right.
Onwards!
You've got just under. Well, basically, you lost another sort of. By the time you get to the bridge, you've basically got an hour and a half left.
Right. Well, I think hacking is probably. I mean, what is hacking? Is that science or security?
Let me see. I've got the. Let me check my notes. Yeah, because this is going to be very similar to what you did before. Daring and security
Right. Well, that's on
with a
you then,
DC
Tira.
of 2.
What's infiltration focus?
Not on this one, no,
Okay.
because this is the bridge. This is
So I'm going to hail the Damocles, I think,
okay.
and the boarding party to Damocles.
Damocles, what's your situation over there?
Getting pretty dicey, to be honest. We've definitely both been infected, but we're
We
still.
have everything under control.
Yeah, well, that's technically true for the time being. Yeah. We have determined that the Romulans in the hold seem to be prisoners, and we're going to try and retrieve them. But in order to do so, we need to get onto the bridge. And there are still some bridge crew remaining. We're going to try and take them out in a non-lethal fashion by turning off the environmental controls just long enough.
That is a most excellent idea, Lieutenant.
Okay.
Is the situation over there safe to beam?
Well,
In
actually,
case we
that's
need to beam you or the.
well. You got Torel off, okay, right? And
Yes, he was. Did you know he was drinking?
No.
Yes, I did, and I was going to talk to you about that when we got back.
Yes, so we believe he was infected by that, whatever it is affecting you over there, and he surprised the operator in Transporter Room 1. It's some kind of archaic Bajoran gesture. Believe it implied something about his mother. We're not entirely sure what it means, but when did he start drinking?
Perhaps I'm sorry to interrupt, but perhaps this could wait. I think we have very limited time, and I will of course fully report on the matter when we return.
Very well. Keep us apprised, Damocles out.
Very good. Right, bye. Okay, let's get on with this thing.
You know that you are allowed to lie to superior officers, Davrin.
You can't ask me to do that.
Well, I actually fully intended to write him up for it when we got back anyway. So.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Okay, and I have 2 successors.
Right.
Davrin's trying to be an officer. He's not going to put up with that shit. So, right.
Okay.
And Tira is drunk, so normally she wouldn't do that either.
There's another reason why I made it a DC of 2, because you're getting a little bit happy. You sort of think, actually, Tira, can you make another roll for me, please? I want you to make a control and command roll.
Okay.
I can see where it's going.
DC of 2.
I kind of want it to fail.
Well,
Right.
you got your wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Davrin, you notice straight away that it's been more than a minute that the environmental controls on the bridge have been off.
Okay. Tira, turn those environmental controls back on now.
Which one?
To the bridge now. And I'm going to lean in and try and do it.
I activate them again.
Okay, the indicator on the control panel flares into life, and you see it. Bing, bing, bing. The bridge is now safe.
Are we able to access the bridge, with, or is the door locked?
The door's still locked.
Right. Another job for you then, Tira.
Yep. Lots of rolls tonight.
Yes.
But this is going to be a DC of 3
Well, yeah. Use some momentum on this one.
because
yeah, of course, but
it's harder, and yeah, Tira is definitely starting to feel the effects of the purple haze.
So what do I roll? I take momentum.
I am going to say for this one, because it's going to be I'm going to say reason and security for this one.
Infiltration or security protocols?
I'm going to say yes for security protocols because the bridge locking down is a security protocol. So I'm going to say yes.
3 successes and a complication.
Okay.
We get the door open, it slams on us in the way in.
No.
He's just giving himself a threat.
Yep.
That's
Give
good.
yourself a threat.
I can live
The
with
door
that.
opens. You can see 1, 2, 3 officers. You can't see the captain.
Okay.
Just to remember, Chris,
Yes.
I have the talent constantly watching to spot hidden dangers, and threat is difficulty -1 for me.
Thank you for reminding me, because otherwise that would have made this. Yes. No, that's definitely going to come into play.
I thought as much.
Yeah, it's because obviously I'm never going to remember all your talents and virtues and stuff like that.
Well, that's
so,
alright. I don't remember them most of the time. That's why I've got them on the dock in front of me.
So I mean, although I had
Exactly.
although I had the character sheets, things like that. If you remind me, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to begrudge you doing that, but that's fine. Okay. There's apart from the door you just opened, you see 2 other doors on the bridge.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Well, actually, you're the security officer. You should probably take the lead and decide what we do here.
Of course, and the share is all yours now, Captain. So, where is the former captain? I take a stroll around and look for possible hidden hiding spots and such.
Romulan bridges are fairly open. There's nowhere he could actually hide on this bridge that you can see.
But he has to be somewhere.
Yes, he does.
Well, there's 2 other doors.
Oh, also, as well, Davrin, just like to point out as well that this is your first time on a bridge of not only a Romulan starship, but a Tal Shiar starship.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, just thought I'd give you that as a freebie.
Yeah. Okay. So Davrin is gonna. The first things first, he's gonna go over and check on the pulses of these Romulans.
Okay.
Class Romulans.
This is going to be a freebie one because there's no
yeah.
complication for it. There's a pulse, but it's very weak on each of them. You think that when they come to, they're going to have the equivalent of concussions. Their pulses are not erratic, but they're slightly faster than you would expect them to be, even for Romulan. But they don't seem alarming.
Doesn't not immediately life-threatening.
It's as if someone's just gone for a quick run. That kind of, your pulse. It's not like, oh wow, that's really dangerous. It's like, that's a bit elevated. It's that kind of level.
With my phaser in hand, I start knocking at one of the doors.
Which one, the left or the right?
Um,
As you go in, again, I'll draw it. Maybe it'll be easier.
opposite of the door we came in.
Okay, this is where you come in. This is the bridge, and there's like a door here, and captain's chairs here. There's like stations here, and their version of a view screen is there.
I take the right door
Okay.
and knock on it.
I guess Stavrin will keep an eye on the other door then, just in case.
You don't hear anything. There's no response.
Does he open automatically when I push any buttons?
Go for it. You just said you were knocking. You didn't say you were opening the door.
I open the door.
Okay. Right. I need you to make. Right, what would be the equivalent of a reflex roll?
Oh shit!
That's going to be control.
and...
I'm going to say control and security for this.
Okay.
With your bonus because spotting hidden traps and whatnot. So
it's a difficulty for 0 then.
Yes, it's difficulty of 0, but you can have complications. So this is why you have to make these sort of rolls. Well, lucky enough, you don't get hit, but the disruptor pistol beam blasts one of the lights above you, showering you in a few sparks. You don't get hurt, but nothing bad happens either. You hear, "Stay away!"
I shoot right back.
Right.
This is when Davrin's going to suddenly notice Tira's picked up a disruptor from somewhere, isn't he?
No, it's just my Type 2 phaser on stun setting.
Good.
Oh, good. You're doing it on the right. Okay, I'm going to have to delete this again so you can see where you are. Just bear me one moment whilst I draw the map. Okay, so Tira, you are here. The Romulan is like a desk here. This is the room. It's obvious it's like basically the captain's ready room. Like there, got like a computer console there, cabinet, desk type thing here. No screen at the background. Yeah, and he's sitting on a chair. So basically, you can shoot him if you want, but he's going to be behind cover.
Well, you might as well give it a shot because he's certainly going to be making some more pot shots at you.
Yeah,
What I will do is just to remind me whose go it is in combat. Okay, so you have to make a roll to hit.
Again, control and security.
Yes, and if you get success, you said you're on stun, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Because if you're on lethal, it adds threat.
I am only drunk, not really drunk.
You buzzed. Not.
And I use 1 momentum.
Okay. I'm going to use 1 threat. Oops, not that. So I have to delete that. No, I'll leave that there for the moment. I'm going to use 1 threat to make his next shot lethal.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it costs me threat to do that. By default, it's non-lethal, but you will spend momentum or generate threat. I would spend threat to make it lethal. So,
2 successes.
okay, you hit him. Roll for damage.
What the difficulty was?
Standard difficulty is 1 when you're shooting. Unless I say
Okay,
otherwise.
because that's why we can get our momentum back.
I'm just keeping track of how much stress he's got. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, okay. Right. And I'll keep track of this on my notepad. So you can't
Why do I have to roll d20s again when I hit the damage button on the character sheet?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's just click the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Draw damage. Glare.
Ooh. Damn, son, and you've knocked him out because that's 5 plus. The beam hits. You have knocked this guy out.
Not so much for our big boss fight, huh?
Yeah, I mean that could have gone quite badly. But the fact is, if you score 5 plus on a hit roll, in effect it ignores stress and goes straight to wounds. And because you were hitting him with a phaser, I'm assuming, set to stun, you've stunned him. You've automatic, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 effects. You've stunned him. Boom. No contest.
It's what an Andorian soldier / security officer does.
Well, the thing is, if I wanted to ignore one of those effects, it would cost me 1 threat per effect to ignore. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even if I use all my threat, that's still 2 hits. So he's down. There's nothing I can do. He is down.
Devon?
Yes?
The captain is sleeping. You are the captain now.
I've always wanted to be captain of a ship like this. No, I haven't really, but it sounds fun. Let's do it.
Well, technically, for this precise moment, you are the captain of this vessel.
So I'm going to set myself down at the captain's chair, I guess.
By all means.
Yeah.
But this is the only chance you're ever going to sit. Remember, that's why I was sort of dropping.
Yeah, so can I use a tricorder to get a selfie? Is that doable? Do I have a tricorder selfie stick?
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say yes.
Davrin just pulls out a sort of little, tiny little rod, but it's telescopic.
I photobomb him behind him.
As it's practically the end of the game and you've got 2 momentum left, I'm going to say for 2 momentum, you can say you've got a selfie stick.
Sure, I want to spend that momentum for that selfie stick.
By all means. It's basically like reflected as if you're saying, "Aha! It's a good job I bought this."
So yeah, it's important kit.
Yeah. It just happened. It just happened to be on your person that day.
Yeah.
So, that's a good thing about momentum. It can be spent on so much as long as you can justify it.
All right. So I presume that the captain's chair has a terminal of some sort as well.
It has like the little thingies in the arm controls.
Yeah.
But it's all in Romulan.
Right. Well, that's not so handy.
No.
Okay, but we have got rid of the entire crew, so we could get someone over here that could actually understand and work this now, couldn't we?
Oh, easily, very easily. It's
Claire has
report away, team. How's your situation over there?
Well, I think we're about ready. Yes, Peachy. We're about ready for somebody who can actually read Romulan to come over and help us free these people from the hold. Or perhaps you could just teleport them across, I guess, would make much more sense. Sorry, I'm not that with it today. I seem to be infected by some sort of psychedelic flower.
Nah,
I think it would be better if we beamed one of our crew over there in an environmental suit. And in the meantime,
I would recommend the suit, yes. I don't think either myself or Lieutenant Shatizra is really 100% with it right now.
Can we keep this ship, Damocles? I like this bridge.
It is a very pretty bridge, Damocles.
Is it?
Well, I mean,
I think the Romulan Star Empire or Republic would want one of their ships back.
But we have conquered it.
Yeah, I mean, spoils of war, right?
One moment.
Yeah.
Can you just pan that back? Stand to one side, Davrin.
Yeah.
Am I under? You basically see them. They're on the view screen now at this point. Yeah. Is that a Tal Shiar symbol I see behind you?
Oh, did we forget to mention that? Yeah, no, it's a Tal Shiar ship.
As you see that, both her eyebrows rise up with the nearest you can almost imagine a Vulcan panicking. I recommend we evacuate everyone off that ship as quickly as possible.
Yeah, seems like a good idea. Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
You may not be aware of this, Lieutenant, but Tal Shiar vessels are often rigged to self-destruct.
I didn't know that. So maybe some speed then.
That would be good.
Yeah.
You have an hour.
Why are we doing it?
No, as in you have an hour before that other ship turns up.
Alright,
I always wanted to know how a count of 10 in Romulan sounds.
I'm not gonna speak Romulan.
That would be a very exciting way to learn the numbers, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like 10, 9, 8, 7.
We get beamed off. But I wanted to hit 1. All right. No, but more seriously, though, Chris.
Yes.
What can we do on our end? Can we actually? Yeah. Can we? Are the transporter systems on this ship functional? Can we help?
As far as you can tell, yes.
Right.
And
Well,
they
I
have,
get.
and it's a Davidex class ship, so they have probably about 4 transporter rooms.
Right. Well, let's.
Because
let's-
though it's bigger than a Galaxy in terms of stats, it's about the same. Well, in terms of what it can do, it's probably the Romulan equivalent of a Galaxy class.
Let's try and get this hold unlocked then, and get the people.
Oh, that's what you do. That's going to be a DC-1 command and security check to unlock the doors,
All right.
because you know it's.
Do what you do best,
Yep.
Tira.
I can't believe you took him out in one go. I was,
So-
all geared up for a fight as well.
What
That'll
was
teach
that?
you to throw anybody other than Borg at us.
Seriously, that was an incredible role. That
I
really
didn't get
was.
it. Control and security again.
Yes, control and security. Yes. I mean, there was literally nothing I could do to beat that. Even if I used all my threat to take out 1 effect each.
2 successes.
You just gotta let it go.
I know,
think.
but it's just I was geared up mentally for a fight, so it's,
Well, I was too. I was already looking at my powers and going, "Oh, I could do this. I could do that."
yeah.
Never mind.
You open the door, no problem. It just open. You see the relief on the
Okay.
people in the cargo hold.
So I'm gonna open hailing frequencies.
Still open.
Okay, great. Those of you who are conscious down there, please help your your less conscious compatriots to the transporter rooms and get ready to beam off.
You basically you see him nods, and they start slowly filing out, picking up the ones who were knocked out or aggressive, having to. You see this. There.
With as much speed as you can, given your current circumstances, we are on a pretty tight time limit here.
Understood. You see, there's a little fight breaks out, and you see again security guard going to like bash them again. And go, no, we're getting out of here now, and drag them apart.
And I'll hail Damocles again, and Damocles.
Yep.
What do you recommend we do with the bridge crew? Leave them?
They are Tal Shiar, are they not?
They are Tal Shiar. They were performing horrific experiments here by the sounds of it. I don't know whether we want to take them in.
As much as I would like to, they are still sovereign citizens of the Romulan Empire.
And it would be sad if they
There is one of
die.
their ships heading this way. Do you believe they could survive on their own for another hour or two?
Yes, I'm no doctor, but I certainly think that's the case.
Let's just rescue the civilians then, shall we? We will
Understood.
We'll leave the Tal Shiar to their fate.
That's true. I mean, they're not going to have a very good future anyway. Yes, okay. Understood, Commander. Sorry.
Are you and Lieutenant Tira ready to beam over?
We're planning to beam the prisoners from here.
Yes, we've already received the first batch into. We're temporarily. They're not going to like this, but we're temporarily holding them in our cargo bay until they can be medically scanned.
Oh, marvelous! So you can.
They love cargo bays.
Well. The last time that we had a crowd of people in a cargo bay, it didn't actually go that well for us.
No, no, we have. No, they are understanding of this one. They are just grateful to be off that vessel.
Good. Well, if there's nothing, if you can take it from here on the transports of those that remain behind,
Yes.
then yes, I think we're ready to beam. Hang on though. Wait 1 second. Tira, maybe we should complete Terrell's mission of finding data pads in the captain's ready room.
Yeah, and we could leave a little parting gift too.
You're not
As you're
planning on defecating
saying
on his desk, or something.
as you're saying that, Tsang looks at you with one eyebrow raised and says, "I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I didn't quite catch what you said there. There was a little bit of static.
Oh,
on the
sorry.
screen.
We were making sure that everything is all right and there are no further casualties.
Yeah, well, give us just one or two more minutes, Commander.
If a Vulcan could smile, she would be smiling.
We're having some sort of technical difficulties here. I just want to make sure that it will be safe to transport.
Understood, awaiting. And again, she does the proverbial Vulcan nod as to say, "I know what you're doing. You're doing exactly as I asked, but officially I can't admit to this."
So yeah, we'll scurry around the ready room, the bridge, and we'll try and get. I guess we can try and get into the other room and see what's in there.
Damocles out, and they make a point of ending the transmission.
Yeah.
Right, you've got a couple of minutes.
All right.
Okay, I go to the captain's ready room,
Okay.
put one of his fingers in his nose so that he's nose picking in his sleep.
Oh, if we have time, let's pants the others.
Okay. Yeah. you pants the Tal Shiar. Oh my god.
It's not appropriate.
No,
for
but to be
Starfleet,
fair
but,
though, you are.
know,
This is actually starting to affect the gas is still on the ship. It's affecting you, so
yeah.
normally this wouldn't be Starfleet behaviour.
I'm going to try and get into the other room if that's okay.
Davrin,
Yep.
as you pants the Tal Shiar on the bridge, you from the Jan symbiote you get what can only be described as a chuckle,
Hey,
as if to say,
I love my
Big.
symbiote.
you never get full communication with a symbiote, but you get like almost like an impression, as if they are happy with what you've just done. They approve. Because no one's getting hurt and it's funny.
Right.
Okay.
And then I quickly grab every data pad I find in the ready room.
Okay, can you roll for me a challenge dice? Okay, you only find one pad.
Can I get into the other room, which I strongly suspect is probably a briefing room? But
Yeah, easy, and you're exactly right. That's exactly what it is. It's a briefing room.
and given it is a briefing room, I suppose there is a slim chance that they've left something lying around on the table.
Again, for yourself, roll a challenge dice.
Yeah.
Because you will find something. It just depends. This just determines how much. Again, you find two.
Hey. Right, I
And
think
one of
we're
them looks like it's one of the captain's ones. That's what the effect represents.
marvelous.
So it's as
Okay.
if like they were, from what you can tell, it's as if they were having a meeting about everything else when they started to be affected by what's happened on the ship. Left the briefing room, gone to the bridge, and then sealed the bridge.
Great. Have you found anything, Derek?
One data pad.
Well, that makes 3. I think we're probably ready. So I'll signal Damocles again and let them know we're ready to beam.
Okay, I'm gonna just sort of skip through these last little bits now.
Sure.
You beam, no problem, towards Damocles.
Bye bye ship.
You get beamed into the Medi Bay for obvious reasons, where there's a security field, quarantine field up. You are scanned, checked over, given inoculations, the full works. The data pads are taken from you by the commander, and as she leaves the medical bay, she looks at you two and both gives a Vulcan nod of well done.
Oh my god, she loves us like her own children.
It's she's
Mommy.
officially she can't say anything out loud, but she appreciates what you have done, but officially can't say anything for obvious reasons.
Davrin's definitely quite giggly right now.
Yeah. As the ship, the Damocles, prepares to jump to warp to finish its journey to Deep Space Nine, you hear the red alert sirens going off. looking over to one of the nurses. He's like, what's going on? It's like, yeah, 3 more Pterodexes have just dropped out of warp, but lucky enough we got away in time. It's like, literally, they dropped out of warp and you just went, bye, boom.
In that case, dab in the sort of general direction of through the hull, in the general direction of space where those 3 Pterodexes would be.
Yeah.
Davrin does a particular hand gesture, once performed by Terrell.
Is this the gesture that resembles the Vulcan salute?
Something of that sort. Yes.
Okay. As the medical officer just laughs and it's like, I think we need to give you another dose. It's
could it wait? I'm actually rather enjoying this.
You may be enjoying it, but you are carrying a symbiont after all.
You're right. I mean, I'm pretty sure the symbiont's enjoying it too. But
It's like,
Devon is pregnant. Devon is pregnant.
and I think another dose for you as well.
Okay.
And that's where the episode ends. Right, I'm going to load up the...
Can I just say, I think you should get as high every session because my ability to take the role seriously is I laugh too much, so this is perfect for me.
It's one of the reasons why I have made I don't want to go too serious with this. It's if you've ever seen the Orville, you know the way they make it. It's a science fiction show with comedy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of level I want to have this. Not so much a comedy sci-fi show, but to have humorous elements in it. Yes,
that's probably for the best.
There will be the occasional episode every now and then that will be, I don't want to say dark, but more serious. But you would be able to tell straight away that these will be serious episodes. I'm not going to make any qualms about it, but the majority of the time it's just going to be light-hearted, a bit of fun.
That's why I instinctively started to decide for myself that Tira is already affected to and starts silly things before we asked.
I will say for both of you, because I know I meant to say it before, but you're both going to get I think it's a spotlight for this.
Oh, sweet.
I think it's a spotlight one.
The thing that Tordek got, is it?
Yeah, Tordek's got one last time because of his frankly amazing.
That was such a great leap.
Thing about freezing the crystal to stop it from working. That was pure genius. So I had to give him that one. But because you two made me really freaking laugh, you both get in. What are they called? Spotlight milestones. Okay, so you need to keep track of those because it's once you get a certain number of spotlight milestones, that's when you get that's when you get the arc milestones, and those are the big ones. The arc milestones they're either awarded for things that are just so unbelievably amazing, or for what do you call it? When you've got a certain number of the spotlight milestones, it's basically a way of leveling up, because that's when you can use it to upgrade your stats, things like that. I will say as well, I'm not going to worry too much about the reputation system because of A, small things I have to keep track of, and B, I think it's going to be better to have it when it's appropriate for you to be promoted. I don't think it's fair just to get your promotion just because you've got X amount of things. So
I kind of think this system has far too many point-based subsystems.
I don't have a problem with it, but I like that they've got the rule there if you want to use it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Because that way,
treating it modularly.
For some people, it's a fair system. That way, you think, right, if you get X amount of points, you're pretty much going to get a promotion. And this is how you gain the points, this is how you lose the points. So I'm glad that they've got it there for people who want to use it. I personally just want to do it thinking, yeah, you're due a promotion about now, or you could even turn around and say, maybe save up one of your arc milestones and say, I want to go in for a promotion, or at least be considered for it, and things like that. I want to try and RP it rather than, boom, that's it, you've got a promotion. But the fact they've got a rule there for if you do want to use it, I'm perfectly happy with that.
All right.
Right. So, any questions from chat at all, or anybody else?
This was clearly based off a certain Star Trek classic episode.
Oh, definitely. It's
Oh, that one on TOS.
Yes.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
That could
With the
even be,
flowers.
that could even be the planet they got it from.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Didn't that episode, unless they had more than one, which they may have done, I'm sure. Well, didn't that make them sort of blissful?
It's
Isn't-
there's loads of those sort of
Yeah.
ones where they all get bongoed off their heads. So
Yeah,
'Cause
you are
that's
right.
That's the one where everybody was trying to get Kirk to come down off a ship and live with them in their
Yeah,
economy.
you're right. I'm mistaken that with the Space Fever episode.
Yeah. To be honest, though, there's probably more than one
yeah,
plant-based episode.
and also, you know, if we do say, for example, it was that planet, then there could have been more than one species of plant, and they just happened to have found this one. Oh, hello! So the cat's turned up. Yeah, the weird flowers, and the TNG episode with the time. Yes, cat. But no, again, thank you to RPG Crunch for doing that episode for me.
Yes, I was.
Thank you.
How off track did you get with it? But it
It
was
started right. It pretty much started right at the beginning. So the original note was the ship wasn't going to decloak to begin with,
Yeah.
and then you had to find a way. The polar on pulse. There was going to be, you know, the singularity was going to be unstable, and that was what was causing the fluctuations in the power grids across the entire ship, while the cloaking device was going on and off and stuff like that, and why the security grids on the plant failed, because again all power cut out and things, that kind of thing. And it was just after that point I realised, oh, that's wrong. So I
Would you know what though? That would have been. I mean, I don't know how you feel about multi-part episodes, but that sounds like it might have been quite a lot to have dealt with in a few hours anyway.
I don't mind doing them occasionally, but I don't like doing them all the time, because it's I mean, I don't mind it for like the big ones, you know, like the pilot episode and
The season finale.
season finale, yeah, or one where it's really, really important. Like I've got one,
Yeah, plot significance.
yeah, like for example, the ones in the book, some of these are fairly big in terms of how long they go on for. So one of these ones might end up being a two-parter. It might be. Depends. It basically depends on how far we get into it, and by the end of it, thinking, yeah, if I can fudge it for another like sort of 20 minutes, then I'll speed it up. But if it's, you know, you've not got to a crucial point, then I'll make it into a two-parter. But it won't be. There won't be.
Chris?
Yeah, we just lost audio, Chris.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Again, I can't always tell when it does that. I need to get a new one, but it's in the works.
You're getting new kit, right? So.
I'm getting a complete new kit. It's going to be a new headset, a proper mic as well. So, and I'll keep this for emergencies. But basically, the next episode will be from the book. I won't tell you which one, in case anybody's read it. But then after that, we'll be returning to the Bendrazi plotline with an episode simply called Archangel.
I'm intrigued already.
Yeah, me too.
I don't mind giving out the episode names, because this is like the preview of, like, you know, coming next or coming soon.
Sure, and you know, we could see them in the Radio Times, right?
Or on the episode guide, like you see on Wikipedia, where they have like the episode name, but they don't tell you what the episode's about. It's pretty much that.
All right, well, that sounds cool.
Yes.
So, thanks for running. I'll see you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me. And double check, is provisionally the 17th okay for playing?
17th, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
If obviously if you can't make it for then, let me know and we can reschedule.
Yeah.
But this is more for the people who are watching. Yeah, the next stream is, fingers crossed, will be the 17th. So if you can make it then, fantastic. In the meantime, live long and prosper. And good night. I'm going to run the
Thanks
credits.
for watching, everyone.
I'm going to run the credits.
Kapla.
That's the one, Kapla. That'll work as well. So, safe travels. Let's see if this actually works this time. It normally does when I run it for this. There we go. Yay! Subscription from GM Ralphie. Yay! Night night, everyone.